Hello everyone, welcome to Prime Take. Today I'm having a conversation with one man who has contributed immensely to Ghana football in various ways, from club to national team. I recall that 2014 CHAN semi-final contest against Nigeria, when the late Stephen Keshi was in charge of that Nigerian CHAN team. And guess what? This gentleman seated next to me, he was then the assistant coach of Ghana's Black Stars. And guess what? He supervised Ghana's success, beating a man who had won the African Cup of Nations a year prior in South Africa, the very state that was hosting the CHAN tournament. He supervised the national team, secured victory against them, and made it to the final against Libya. Unfortunately, Ghana could not lay its hands on that silverware, but many of us actually believe it is one of the highest moments of his coaching career. He's also a former footballer, someone who, if you're a Kumasi Asante Kotoko fan, is quite familiar with him. I don't want to say so much. I want him to share his own story, because here on Prime Take, this is what we do all the time. And today we are privileged to be seated with him in a very beautiful setup, Ram Studio. I don't know how he secured it, but Maxwell Konadu is a man who has a way of finding his own things. And today, he secured a place inside Ram Studios for us to have a conversation with him. Coach Maxwell Konadu is our guest on Prime Take. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Nice to meet you. It's been a while.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
How did South Africa treat you? You'll be back so soon.
No, it's a nice place, you know. It's a nice place. All that they are doing there, I think they are showing the way for the rest of Africa to also follow. Now Morocco is also doing it, and hopefully to spread to the rest of the continent.
Let me talk to you briefly about your life journey. How did it start? Where were you born? How was your upbringing like?
Yeah, I was born in Kumasi, but quickly taken to Wa after my mom was discharged from the hospital, you know, the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. My mother took me to Wa, where my father was based and working, you know. And as a farmer, he was, you know, having almost nothing, you know, and we were also many. You know, growing up in Wa, I grew up to, you know, see a lot of my siblings, and we were all sleeping in the same room and other things. Those ones we can't talk about, but that is how it started.
How many were you?
We were 7.
Okay.
Yeah, actually we were 11, but the rest have passed. So
okay.
Yeah.
And you were all in the same one room?
Yeah, we were in one room with our dad. I saw that very well. I remember. So until my brothers started growing up, and they were, you know, going to rent some apartment for themselves, and, you know, taking us with them to sleep at the veranda. So when it was raining, we had to just get up and stand at a corner for the rain to stop before we could, you know, sweep the place and relay our
mats and whatever.
Our mats down to sleep again. So that is how life started anyway. But thank God we grew up, and the story is different today.
How did you survive?
Actually, my mom did so well. You know, after our parents almost broke up, my father left Wa, leaving us with our mother. So it's this one lady who took care of all of us.
All the 11 of you?
No, let's say about 5 of us. Yeah.
Was your father married to 2 wives or 1?
4.
He married 4?
Yes.
Hey, I want to be like your father, actually.
You know, the old folks, you know, they married a lot and they did a lot of stuff. So it's all good. I mean,
was your mother the first or the second or the third wife?
The first. My mother was the first. Yeah. So she took care of us. and our education, everything was for him. So when my brother grew up, my brother is called J.K. Fosu. He grew up and took care of us. We were all, under his roof, and he really taught us the do's. And he also a footballer, so we followed his steps. At a point, my good friend, our brother Kwame Ayu, also came. Then we were all under my brother's roof until we completed school, and
So you grew up with Kwame Ayu?
Yeah. Kwame Ayu was staying with us. He came from Tamale and was with us. He came there with a friend.
Oh, okay.
To just visit the place. And that friend was my brother's good friend. He was also a footballer, goalkeeper called Isahaku. He brought Kwame Ayu there for the first time we met, and the chemistry was good. So he went and came back to us again this time around. And later on, he had his transfer from Tamale Secondary School to come to Wa Secondary School. But he was my senior. I was in Form 4, I was in Form 2. So he completed and left. And eventually we also completed, and we met again to continue our footballing career.
How did the footballing thing happen?
Yeah, way back at school. We played too many matches for our schools, and school football. Yeah. You play to please your girlfriends, and like some of my colleagues would call them man kung fu football. Yeah, we did that, and at a point we saw that if we take this serious, we could make something out of it. So we had the interest to just play football, So that is how it started, from school. And we were key players in the school team. And
all the way from primary JSS to secondary school? Or what?
Yeah. That time it wasn't yes, today they call it JSS.
Yes.
Then it was the elementary school,
yes.
Secondary, and So we played from elementary. Now I'm talking about the secondary school, inter-schools and inter-colleges they call it, So when we were winning, and we got selected to play in the regionals, and we got selected to the academicals, which couldn't come on anyway, but we were part of all that. It was Coach Afrani back then. He was very instrumental. And eventually Kwame left WA and joined the Roadmasters. I continued to play for WA Heroes as a young kid. Get some 10-15 minutes to play. And that is how it started. And when I completed school, I joined RTU through the late Alaji Jaola. May he so rest in peace. Alaji Jaola and Abu John as well. They took me to RTU. And I played there a little bit. And when WA Heroes qualified, I came back to WA to play for one season. And from there, I joined Kotoko.
Which year did you join Kotoko?
92.
Wow.
Then the end of 91. Yeah. So the 1992-93 season started. Yeah, that is when we started playing for.
But for you to have joined Kotoko, it meant you were that good.
Yeah. At that time, we were a bunch of players. We were all in the national camp. Let's say the Meteors camp.
Yeah.
Myself, Ajeteli, Ezekiel Lamu, Antonio Sekwajo, Frank Amankwa, a whole lot of the guys, Ablade Kuma, Shamokwe. You see, we're all in camp. And that is when, how come I joined Kotoko? You see, most of the boys, Ajeteli, our champion, they all went to Ash Gold. And I was supposed to go to Ash Gold with them. That time was Coach John Satukwefi who was handling them. He spoke to me, I agreed. I even went to Abuasi once for us to finalize everything. I came to Kumasi and they hijacked me. I signed immediately for Kotoko.
So you were hijacked.
yes.
But were the Ice Gold people disappointed?
Oh, Coach Jones was disappointed. And you see, we planned to go to Ice Gold. Myself, Ajeteli, Samia J, and Simonado, Joado's younger brother, he was a goalkeeper. So they all went to Ice Gold. I was supposed to go with them, but Antonio Sekwajo, Frank Amankwa, and Yausu, and there was one other guy. They convinced me to come to Kumasi because of Boasi. No. And I got carried away with the support, the Kotoko supporters, what they were doing for the players. I saw everything, so I decided to,
And the thing was that you were also coming back to the base you were born, huh?
Yeah.
Is that because you mentioned you were born in Kofa?
Everything just fell in place, and I don't know how it happened. But
so are you a Wala or an Ashanti?
I'm from Buaha, from Kransa. I was just born in Kumasi, and I lived all my life in Wa. So it's football that brought me back to Kumasi. That is how.
So, and you also brought your mother back?
No, I left the old lady there. It was only when I traveled outside and came here to Accra that I brought the old lady here. And anytime I travel and come, I'll bring her here to also, come and be with us for some time. But eventually my sister built a place here in Shalobotwe, so we moved the old lady there.
I think you've done well. Talking about how you used to stand up when it rains. By the wall.
We didn't have. Kwame, he was involved. You can ask him; he will tell you. He was involved. We didn't have anything or anywhere to go and sleep.
How did your mother do it? How did you?
My mother was a very hard-working woman. She, at a point she was baking bread. And she stopped and, went into the chop bar business. And left that one too and was selling hard liquor,
hard liquor, my grandmother too was selling hard liquor.
Yeah. But know what? She never drank. She didn't know how to even, taste apetition, how it was. But she was selling it. And we all didn't drink until we became men. So that is how the families, they kept us together up till today. So the bonding was very, very strong. And up till now, we keep calling each other. We don't meet so often because of distance and other things. Most of them are in abroad. And
you and your siblings?
Yeah.
Is it those you said they came to the country and then you were driving them around town?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I had to. I left everything. So if you quite remember, when I came, it's about 5-6 weeks back.
Yeah.
I had to leave everything and drive them across the country, wherever they wanted to go.
You tell you want to go here and you drive them
there? Yeah. I made sure I took care of them until they left.
Are you the second, third, or fourth?
I'm the last born.
Last born of?
Yeah, the 11th of my mother.
11th child of your mother?
Yeah. I'm the last born.
So your mother gave birth to 11 of you?
11, yeah.
Hey, she's a strong woman.
Today we are practicing, what do you call it? Family planning.
Family planning. So you're doing 2, 3 and all that.
Do 1, 2 and the school fees is already,
Wow.
11, and we are all educated. How did they do
mother's efforts?
Yeah, how did they do it? Anyway.
Wow. Actually, this is an interesting one, actually.
Yeah.
11 children. Wow. And you're the last child.
Yeah.
I'm also the last one. So 2 last babies are having a conversation.
Kachiri, they call us.
Yeah, Kachiri. The 2 Kachiris are having a conversation. But let's come back and talk about Kumasi Asante Kotoko. When you moved to Kotoko, how was it like?
Kotoko, when I first came, they kept me in the P&T guest house. It's in the residential area around the Soldier Line. I was kept there, and the team was training. And I was kept there for almost 5 days. They were not allowing me to go for training, simply because I had not signed yet.
Ah.
And that time, you know...
Were they hiding you or what?
Yeah. You know, at that time, they would group like 5, 6 players and take you to a place for all of you to sign. And, you know, the organization was very good. And after that, they will unveil you. I quite remember they did that at Cultural Center, just behind Bantama. Yeah, they took us on one stage and unveiled us to the supporters. Then they took me back. So at a point, I was getting nervous. I wasn't training. I was in, let's say, a hotel room. They were feeding me. A car would come and pick me to the training grounds and send me back to go and sleep and all that. And the training I was watching, it was very, very tough. So in my head, I was like,
can I make it?
Can I even make it? The way these people are treating me, if I don't perform, what will happen to me here? And I quite remember one day when the training was done and Frimpong Manson was just walking past. He just came to me and said, I
had Frimpong Manson recently on this show. And he was talking about how those days in Kotoko, it was difficult to break through.
So it was very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Kotoko had brought Anafi, Kwajo Sumala, Mahmoud Ahmed, and Akako Patron, and a whole lot of players.
Akako Patron, the former Wafa coach?
Yes.
Oh, wow, I see.
Yeah. We were very, very, very good players. But you see, when everything is working out for your good, they brought Coach Adi that year.
Yes.
They brought Coach Adi to take charge of Kotoko. And he knew most of us. So when we registered and we started playing, Coach Adi came on board and everything just changed. And that is how...
How many seasons did you play at Kotoko?
You see, funny enough, I didn't even play 2 seasons with Kotoko. And there were not too many radio stations like today. But at least every other weekend, we were scoring goals. And that is how come our name were all over. I didn't play Kotoko for even 2 years. 1.5 seasons. The second season, I traveled to Qatar. And that is...
Did Qatar serve you well?
Yeah, Qatar, it was good back then. It was very good.
Because many players often say that. I remember when I was speaking to Frimpong Manso, he said that when he left Kuwait, when he left Ghana to Kuwait was when he made money.
Yeah. That is how come we all settled in maybe Accra and Kumasi as we wanted. You know, even though we were saving small during our Kotoko days. But the Qatar trip changed everything for me. I came and bought this place where we are having this interview now and where I'm staying with the family. The Qatar money.
It is Qatar money?
Yeah.
So we are seated inside Qatar building. Oh, wow. Yeah. I see. That's really a good one. Because I remember many players. I remember when I also spoke to this former Kotoko CEO, Pokinti.
Yeah.
He also spoke about how a move to Switzerland changes life.
Yeah.
When I speak to many former players, they say, what talk about it?
But that is not to say that some also played here and, you know, built some houses. Yeah. I don't want to mention them, but they are very few. Those who were playing for their clubs and the national team, those who were careful enough, they had something from, especially with the national teams.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But did you have any stains with any of the national teams?
Me, I can only say that how I made it to Barcelona.
92.
92. The squad was very, very, very thick. I must be honest. And when they called the selection and I was even starting, I just couldn't believe myself. Well, that year, it's like everything was just falling in place for me. You know, I was scoring goals here and there, and it was 92, we were to, even the qualifiers, I wasn't part of the Olympic qualifiers. It's Kotoko that I came, and, you know, I started, you know, going to camp, but I got injured in the process of, like, we were training. I got injured and came back home. I was with RTU back then when they started the qualifiers. So I didn't even play about 80% of the qualifiers. And in the process, I left RTU and joined Kotoko. Or like, I left War Heroes to join Kotoko. And when I joined Kotoko, I started playing. I remember Mauritius came here, we beat them 5 or is it 7. We went there and beat them 3-0. I scored all the goals. I was playing alongside Shamukwe and Abladikuma, and they were top players. Ziki Alamu, like I was saying, Kwame Ayew at a point was also playing. You know, they came from outside to play. Yapreku, Neo Datelamte, Mohamed Gago, and these big guys. So the first squad came out and I was starting. I don't know whether it was Ghana versus which country. I saw one of the videos recently and I was laughing on Facebook. It brought back memories. Yes, on Facebook. So that is how it started. The Olympic Games also went well for all of us. And let me say, players like Yapreku and Kwame Ayew made a big name for himself when we took Ghana to the 3rd position. That was the first time in African history to get the bronze medal, you know. So we put Ghana up there. And after that, some of the players had the opportunity to travel and all that. But we came back to continue with our clubs before I traveled to Qatar.
See.
Yeah.
And Qatar was, you just mentioned that it was a good one because it brought us here. Qatar is the only one we are seeing.
Yeah. It's Qatar.
Let me personalize the conversation and go back to your professional life. How many kids do you have and how many wives do you have?
I have 1 wife and 2 kids. And they are twins, you know. A girl and a boy, yeah. And they are 25. They'll be 26 this year.
But why would you give birth to only 2 pairs? In fact, not even 2. You get birth once. You get birth once. My senior siblings are twins, though.
That's good.
And that's why I'm saying.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
hey.
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to 11. You come now, just do 2. I was saying something. My grandparents gave birth to my father and a younger sister. 2 of them. Now they are all gone. Had them not been asked, their generation is gone.
Oh.
You see? So if you do only 2, yeah, coach, this one they added. You have to add 1. This will be like pension baby.
We'll do our best to add some. Yeah.
Okay, so let me come back and talk about your professional life, right? And as someone who clearly coaching, playing football, what would you say has been your defining moment in your career?
Well, me making it to the Olympic Games was one, and I saw an official magazine that my picture was on the front, in the front of the magazine. Those time I felt like, but I was young, you know. I felt like I was on top of the world.
The world.
But you just need someone at a point in time to at least guide you a little bit, you know. Those moments, we had very, very good, you know, moments when we went up there playing against Pep Guardiola and the rest, you know. So that time was a very, very good time for me. And secondly, you know, taking Ghana to the AFCON finals in 2015 was also another moment I look back and say, we did our best.
What about the CHAN?
And the CHAN. And you see, I won twice, the WAFU games.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, and went to the finals once.
Yes.
You see, all these moments are moments that you sit back to, you know, reflect and say that I also did very, very good. At least you have moments that in your life you can also grow one day and tell your kids that when I was playing, I played to this level, and when I was coaching, I did my best to this level. But we haven't stopped. Maybe there are more to come, so we pray for the best.
What inspired your transition to coaching?
Even to become a coach, I can say two people played very important role. Now I'll come back to Kwame Ayew and President Nantechi.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, at the time I returned from London, I went to my sister in London to be there for some time. When I came back, you know, I put up a shop. And I was selling this floor tiles and all that. I had forgotten of football, whatever was over. So that is what I went into. And, you know, I said Kwame is my brother already. So we used to visit his properties, and there was one property he has. That is where his church is at the moment, you know. And there, one afternoon we were eating, and he was telling me how he wants to develop the place, and, you know, added a page and a rehabilitation center, like physiotherapy center and all that. And I also learned a little bit of that when I was playing, you know, in Portugal. And we were discussing, and he said that, for the footballing aspect, if I want to, you know, take that to, you know, start to train people that will come for the doctors to work on them, then we can be training them until they become fit and go. And aside that, we can be training, let's say, strikers alone on certain
drills and all that.
Yes. Before they rejoin their clubs. We were discussing all that. I had not thought about coaching, but this were the conversation we were having. After that, I was at the shop one day, Nantechi passed, and I think somebody told him, or he drove past and saw me there once. So he wanted to know whether it was me or
someone else.
So he came, and I was there and said, are you here? I said, yes, this is where I work. And so at a point he came to ask me that if I want to, you know, work for All Stars, if I agree as a spokesperson.
Spokesperson?
Yeah, that is how it started.
He wanted you as a spokesperson for All Stars?
And I did.
Hey.
That is how it started. So I started, you know, talking on radio for All Stars. That is how it started. Then later, he came again. That somebody heard my voice on radio and called to tell him that, hey, Maxwell is talking well about his team and all that. I said, yes, he's doing well. So he came to me again, and we were discussing. And he asked me whether if I would want to be a coach one day. That Sanjo Bana called him Sergio Bana was with Red Bull Soccer Academy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, called him that he wanted a former player for his youth team. You know, that is where you can teach them all the techniques in kicking, in trapping, and all that. So if I was interested, I should let him know. We spoke and he left. But when I came home, I think, I thought about it and I said, hey, this thing, I spoke to Kwame about this thing, and President too from nowhere.
Was he already the FA president then?
Yes. No, that time, I think he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't. But in the process of, you know, yeah. That time, I think that was the year where All Stars qualified. Was he the president? I don't think so.
Qualified to the Premier League?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was his first year or something. Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. Because I quite remember where All Stars played in a JC that people were talking about. I remember. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he was the president. Then when I came home, I thought about this and I said, this can't be coincidence. So I called him and I said, yes, I will want to be the coach. So he should talk to Sergio Bana that I will want to come. Then he said, okay. So immediately I phoned my godfather, Coach Samadi. He was working with Feyenoord Academy. I called him and he said, Maxwell, you intelligent guys like some of you guys are sitting home doing nothing. You know, you can't do this to football. You have to give back to the young ones coming up. You are too smart to be at home. So he said if I was interested, I should come to Feyenoord, Fete. So every morning I used to drive from Accra to Gomua Fete. And there was this one young guy there, Sadiq, that young coach Sadiq.
He's still living there?
Yeah. He's a witness to what I'm saying. So I'll go and I'll understudy or be part of the cone arrangements and everything that was going on. That is how I started. So after some months, Antechi just called Sergio Bana that he's had the guy. So I went there immediately and they gave me the U15 team to coach. I wasn't even in their senior team. So I went and I was training the U15. We went on a nationwide tour and, you know, selected some good guys. And so that is how it started.
Yeah, finally, you've gotten here to the extent that you have coached many teams, including the likes of Kotoko, even won the Ghana Premier League with Kotoko. Yeah,
because I was learning very fast. I was learning very, very, very fast. And when I decided to become a coach, and I went to Fete, I was learning everything that Coach Adi was doing. I learned a lot. So when I came to Red Bull Soccer Academy, there to the technical director used to teach us a lot of things. What or the content you'll be, you know, feeding the players with. So we'll get the program from him. We could add, he told us, you could add what you think is right, but just don't overtrain the young kids.
The young kids.
Yeah. So we're very cautious in training them. Then the opportunity came for us to apply and go to Germany for training. So myself, Didi Dramani, Ben Foku, and Ibrahim Tanko of UDS. I suppose, yeah.
He's not the president of GUSA.
Yeah. The four of us, the FA took us to Germany to go and, you know, go and learn. So we did the UEFA B equivalent, and we all went through and came back. And when we came back, Wow Stars was almost last on the league table. And President called me that, hey, can you come and help a bit? I said yes. I just didn't waste time. I agreed. And, you know, joined All Stars and helped the team to, I think we became like 6th or 5th on the league table from the last spot. So that is how my career started. And that very year, I quite remember Dr. Keke Sapontu was at Kotoko.
Yes.
And things were not going well.
We were not going 2011, 2012.
Yes. Things were not going well. So I think a friend recommended me to him that he should take me as the assistant coach. There was one white coach there, I've forgotten of his name. Yeah, I think he's also one of the Serbians also. Yeah. So my first encounter was against FC Nania as an assistant coach against Kotoko FC Nania, FA Cup finals.
Oh, I remember.
You remember that match?
Yes.
The Accra Sports Stadium.
Yes, 2011.
We lost that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the Prince Bafo and Kodia group.
Yeah.
Those boys at Nania were too good.
They were very good. Nania was very, very good. So that was my first match at, for Kotoko as an assistant coach. So after that, I think the season was over.
Yes.
And it was the only match left. Then we needed to recruit and build Asante Kotoko. But in the process, the coach went to Serbia and never came back. I don't know what happened. That one, I think the management have to. Yeah. So I was asked to take over and take the team to pre-season and start, preparing for the upcoming season, whilst they look for a head coach. So we were in camp, day in, day out. We were training and, working so hard. And I think management paid us a visit. I remember Kwamba Nyakon, Dr. Keke Sapon, and Jerry Asari. Yeah. They all came. We were playing a friendly match. And then after the friendly match, I think when they were driving back home, it was later Kwamba Nyak was telling me that he said, Doctor, what he has seen the team doing of late, I think they should leave the team for me for some few weeks and see what we can do. Because he has started seeing some signs that the team may do well this time around. So that is how it started. We won the league, and I was the head coach, and everything just fell in place. I remember. Yeah.
I remember. You were in charge when Michael Akufu scored that against Accra House of
that long
after Mahatma Otu had just equalized.
Yes.
I remember. And then remember, that was also the year that you became an assistant to Kwesi Appiah in the Black Stars. Yeah.
That was the same year. So I had to, when Kwesi Appiah called me, I had to go to Dr. Keke Sapon to, ask for his blessings. And initially he was finding it difficult to replace me and accept the fact that he has to tell Kotoko supporters that I'm leaving.
And but, in fact, as a Kotoko fan myself, we couldn't understand why they were taking away our coach.
Yeah, but that man is a very, very good man.
Because we believed that with you, going to Africa was going to be something else.
He said that, no, as a young man, I have dreams and he cannot, stand in my way if I have that opportunity. He will never be the one to stop it, so I should go. So in the process of getting a coach, I had to be involved and all that. And I think I called my good friend, Didi Dramani too. Yeah. So that is how it was. I went to Black Stars from there.
And how was the Black Stars journey like?
At that time, it wasn't easy. We had, taken over from
Goran Stefanovic.
Yes. And immediately we were to play the AFCON qualifiers, and that time the AFCON I think was played twice in a year or something.
So what CAF decided to do was that they decided to revise it so that it goes into an odd year, because in an even year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had just played the 2012 edition in Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. They were going to do the 2013 edition in South Africa, so that it will go to all the year 2015, 2017.
Yeah. So that is how it started. So we started the qualifiers and we were beating teams here and there. And eventually the World Cup qualifiers started, and we hammered Egypt, I think 6-1 at the Kumasi Sports Stadium.
I remember when you also beat Lesotho.
Yeah.
The late Christian Achu's debut game.
Yeah. So that's how it started.
But how would you describe that journey with the national team? Going into the World Cup, then you returned. There was a dissolution of the national team, technical team, but you were still there. You joined the Avram Grant. You were part of the team that made it to the 2015 AFCON final. How would you describe those moments, those journeys?
Yeah, when we started, we easily qualified for the AFCON that was played in South Africa. And came back, and we were to prepare for the World Cup.
Yes.
And we were working very hard. We were working so very hard. And eventually we had all the big boys we wanted. Sule Montari, some of them have left the team for some time, but we had to.
Michael Essien and
They had left.
We were surprised at how you were able to bring them back.
So we brought all of them back to at least make sure that we are not leaving everybody out. And Ghanaians wanted to also see that we had all our stars on board and we could not be scared of any team and all that. So we brought all of them on board. But it was so unfortunate that we went to the World Cup. And one thing that I still say that I'm proud of is being part of that team that was solely managed by local guys, and we took our nation to the World Cup in Brazil 2014. That achievement was also very, very, very important. And we went to the World Cup, and all that happened there. So that is how...
They say people lost the dressing room.
It wasn't a dressing room issue. What happened at camp, I think about 5 of it was discussed, And sometimes we hear people saying stuff out there, and we know that all those things were not true. And the ones that were true, somehow, some way, they twisted them. We heard of people selling whatever for $20, or is it $100? What was it? Kenke or something? That wasn't happening in our town, where the team was camped. We were not seeing or hearing all these things. We got to Ghana before we were. You see, the supporters were in a different city. Let's say if we were in Accra, the supporters were in maybe Takoradi. So whatever is happening there.
But you were only in charge of what was happening to the football. And the football was where people were telling you that you lost the dressing room. That's why Calvin Prince Boateng could use foul language at training grounds. That's why Sule Montari could have the temerity to slap a management committee member and all that.
You see, let me correct this one too. What happened between Sule and Mr.
Parker?
Sir Moses Parker. That was the only moment the technical team were not involved in the meeting. I don't know whether you've heard this before.
No.
That was the only moment the meeting was held in camp that the technical team were not included.
Even head coach Koshi appeared to
no member of the technical team. So that thing happened when some of us were even sleeping. We didn't know why, because we were not involved in that meeting.
But I also said there was a meeting Koshi Apia cried.
No. That is not also true. So whoever said that thing, it should come out that he was there in that meeting that he cried. It's not true. And I'm saying,
was it when
that
he
was
the meeting that he cried, or he did not cry at all?
Me, whether he cried or not, I was always with him. I didn't see any moment that he cried. So, which meeting was that? And I'm saying, the only meeting we were not part of was the one that ended in a fight. The technical team members were not involved. And whatever happened in that meeting, we were also briefed. Like you heard, they also told us this and that happened.
But did you discuss the decision to dismiss Sude Muntari and Calvin Prince Boateng from Konedu?
Nothing. I think at that time, I think it was the best decision for the team. You know, if nothing had happened, we never knew what was going to happen next. You know, so like Moses Parker has to change camp and go to a different hotel.
The atmosphere was that volatile.
Yeah. It was.
Let's talk about the Chan team. At what point were you given the Chan team?
The Chan team immediately, you know, the administration made it that the assistant coach of the Black Stars should always be in charge of the Chan team.
Previously, it was the head coach who was in charge.
Yeah. Before we came in, it was the head coach.
Yes, Milo.
Yeah.
Milo took the Chan team today.
Yeah. Even with this, at the point that this decision was taken, wherever we went, because Pierre used to travel there. He came to the South Africa that we are talking about. Yes. He came there and was part of everything. Just that he was not getting too deep involved. But the advice that we needed to, you know, get from him, we took it and we worked with it. That is how it was.
Because I remember when you took over, you won the Wafu tournament. Was it at Baba Yara also?
Yeah, at Baba Yara.
Yes.
At Baba Yara.
I remember that tournament. And then we went to the Chan tournament in South Africa.
Yeah.
Where you were able to win that tournament.
Oh, we went to the finals against Libya.
We went to the final against
Libya beat us on penalties.
On penalties.
Yeah.
Looking back, what would you say was the key to you making it to the final of that tournament? The finals.
Yes. Is you know, beating Stephen Keshi and Nigeria with 10 men, you know, that changed everything. It was a match that was very, very important. You know, Ghana and Nigeria, you know, the rivalry.
We have a certain rivalry.
Yeah. It was there. So we went in very, very aggressively. And in the process, we had a red card. And we were able to manage the situation till we beat them and progress to the finals.
What was the secret behind it? What was that big secret?
It was a commitment.
No secret, commitment.
Yeah, it was a commitment. And we were committed. We were so committed. The boys they gave everything. They just wanted to win something. It was, you see, you know, how long the nation has taken for not winning, and it is just the normal waffles I was winning, and recently Kojito 2-1.
CAF under 20.
Yeah, under 20 and all that. So it was this minor trophies. We wanted to, you know,
change
win.
The narrative.
Yes. And that is always our mission. When we get out there, we want to just make the difference. That's all.
And also talk to me, what would you say has been your major challenge as a coach in this country?
When I was coaching one of the local clubs.
Is it Kotoko in Swatraman? You've coached Kotoko twice, actually.
Yeah. The second time, I played, I think, 5 games or so. I think won 1, drew 1. I think 4 games. I don't quite remember. I won 1, drew 2, and lost 1. Yeah. That was it.
And they came and said you should stop that job. They came to your hotel and asked you to stop. How did you take that news? Did it surprise you?
Yes, it was a shock. That was the first time like I was getting fired. I never, in my whole entire career, I never knew what that word meant until that day.
How did you take that?
Yeah, I took it in good faith. You know, That was the first time, but it was as a shock, but I handled it.
And you had a very huge issue with them. They were asking for their car. You were also asking for money.
No, you see, you see, another thing I think I have to correct here is they were not asking for the car, and I was asking for whatever. You see, when that thing happened, the CEO called me back to come and coach the team. And I said, you gave me a letter when you were firing me. So if you want to re-employ me, write another letter. But he just verbally told me to join the team. We were going to Medium or somewhere after beating the team in Dawu. Yeah, we played at where Dreams used to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was a Wednesday match. It was against Medium. He asked me to join the team. I said, no, you have to give me a letter again. But that letter never came.
But were you willing to rejoin the team?
If he had written the letter, I would have joined.
So that means that you needed a letter withdrawing the sack. So that means that you've been re-engaged. Is it different terms or the same?
Yeah, that is the normal thing. You fired me with a letter. So if you want to re-employ me, give me a letter that you have decided to re-employ me. Or change your decision.
That's an interesting one. And also there was the national team too, the Black Stars. You've been in
let me finish this one. And I heard it out there that I didn't want to bring the car or
yes.
The case was pending. And I told them the car, I will not, what am I using the car for? You take Kotoko's car. I think that car was even, given to us by Mr. Kofi Aban, yeah. So there was no way I could take the car that I'm not returning. But the supporters did well.
They did well?
Yeah, the supporters did well.
Damenya
paid the money. He paid. What he gave me was nowhere near the full amount. But that act alone, the little that he did, the rest I didn't ask them, the rest I didn't pursue it. I left it like that till today.
Damenya paid you?
Damenya who paid?
Or let's say he made part payment though.
Yeah.
He made part payment?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was a good one. Then the Kotoko
so I went to the then CEO with Damenya to hand the keys to him.
Wow, I see.
Damenya took me. We even went and watched Kotoko's game, or was it some game like that at the Accra Sports Stadium. From there, we called the CEO and went and handed the key to him with the supporters.
Oh, that's interesting. Then the supporters stepped in and had the issue resolved. And the national team too. You mind the national team too twice. You were there twice. What happened in Cameroon?
Wow, that was a difficult moment. We went to the pre-tournament campaign in Qatar.
Yes.
And we hardly had players to even train. You go to training, 7 players.
Is that what contributed to your woeful?
I think it played a significant role in us not doing well. You go to training, you have no team to train. And believe me, listen, we had 95 or 98% of the squad and trained only once. The following day, we flew to Cameroon. That is what happened. So we went to the tournament unprepared.
But even if you went to the tournament unprepared.
And we were expecting Kudus and he didn't even show up.
I wrote to his club then, and I don't know if he was in Ajax. I wrote to Ajax about how you people were waiting for him and all that. And they told me categorically that they didn't understand why people were waiting for him to come, because the boy was injured.
It was injured where?
You didn't believe that he was injured?
These Europeans, you never believe them.
but one thing I want to understand is that in as much as you would tell me that you didn't have enough training sessions,
yeah,
I was also made to understand that then coach Milovan Rival has said that the team needed to go through surgery. Did you hear that? Did you ever?
Yeah, I heard that.
So it means that there was also some problems with the team that needed to be fixed.
No, it was like some players were not, willing to come, and we had to also manage certain situations. In this industry, we can't, put everything. What happened in camp, we can't put everything out there. We are still in the industry, and we need to protect it and make sure that we paint a very positive image of our football. You see, when we are all building the nation using football, we don't have to. Sometimes when certain dirty things happen, we can come out and tell ourselves. But we can't throw everything out there, whatever happened in camp.
There's this thing about Ghanaian coaches not giving enough respect in terms of managing the national team. So, for instance, people often believe that local coaches are not good enough, so we are hardly given opportunities.
Not this time. We have very good local coaches. You have very good local coaches.
Just that you are not accorded the respect?
Maybe. I don't know the impression from management level. But to tell me Ghanaian coaches are not there yet, that's a mistake.
So do you feel that local coaches will be given enough opportunities to manage the national team?
When we get the opportunities, we will do well.
But some of you have had the opportunity.
No, to become a head coach, that doesn't happen often, especially with the Black Stars. Apart from Kwesi Appiah, who again?
In recent years.
Yeah, that's all.
But Otto too is a local coach, or you will not say Otto is a local coach?
Okay, yeah, he's a Ghanaian, so how do we say? So, he has a European mentality, which is also good for the game. But to say a local coach cannot do well, you see, regardless of your background, if you don't get the needed support from management, there's no way you can succeed. You need that support, whether you are local or you are whatever. You need the support from Ghanaians and from management, the FA.
Let's wrap up the conversation pretty quick. And I want to talk about 2015 AFCON. That final you people lost. What kind of a manager was Avram Grant? Because we had just come back from a very toxic World Cup, ushered into African Cup. We were in the final. How did you people do it? When you keep one group for a long time, eventually, the results begin to come.
The chemistry was there, everything was there, and that team didn't change that much. It didn't change that much. So if you quite remember, we were from one AFCON, then we went to the World Cup, then came to another AFCON. So when you check, those crop of players were there. So they were matured at that time. It was only, I think, that was when they left Kwesi Appiah, yeah?
Yes.
And I took the team to play 2 matches in Tamale and qualified. They brought Avram Grant. Then we went. Everything was prepared already. The team was intact.
Okay. So, talk to me. You won the FA Cup with Inshot Roman. And later you went to South Africa. But in between that, there was this hooliganism incident where you were attacked. How bad was that moment?
At Inshot.
When you went to Sunyani to play Tanugo Fakwa, and then
you
were attacked.
Yeah, we were attacked. Yeah, and I ended up in the hospital and all that. Yeah. It happened. Sunyani, you see, some of the supporters, I think, they were expecting to win, and it didn't go their way. It was goalless, and immediately the referee blew his whistle to bring proceedings to an end. The supporters were, invading the pitch from all angles. you know. But when they were coming, we grouped as a team, or the playing body, the technical team, we went to the center line to be there. But the supporters didn't touch us, so they went after the referees. But some supporters too, or some security men, you know, protected the referees and the assistants, took them through the tunnel and they went away. So the supporters just couldn't lay hands on the referees. So from there, they turned and they were coming to our direction where we had grouped. That's where they came to attack us, and I ended up in the hospital.
As someone who experienced hooliganism at first hand, because in fact, recently a fan was killed in Swatre. How terrible is hooliganism?
Hey, that's serious, eh? We don't have to, you know, condone that. That's the worst thing you can think of. You being attacked at the opponent's grounds. You see, you are not many. How many are you people? So we have to protect everybody. That thing shouldn't happen. We shouldn't encourage that thing at all. Because you see, you know, leave your family back home to go and, you know, watch a match and come and you never return. Actually, that is the worst thing that, and even the way that guy was also murdered was another painful, you know, incident. We just don't have to encourage that.
What is the most difficult decision you've ever taken as a coach?
Most ever difficult decision? There are many. There are many, but that is the nature of the job. You know, sometimes it can be a very good player you think that should make your squad. But because of some comparisons and some certain things that you think this one has it a little bit than this, you take that decision, knowing very well that this one too deserve to make it. But when you are dealing with numbers, definitely you have to, you know, cut some people off.
What legacy do you want to leave as a coach? Maybe to coach the national team, the Black Stars? Something?
Yeah, to win the AFCON for Ghana. That is what I think we are dying to achieve. To win the AFCON for Ghana.
You want to win the AFCON for Ghana as a head coach of the team?
Whatever, even as an assistant, I don't mind. I just want to win the AFCON for Ghana.
But you've been there twice already, as an assistant, twice already. People will say, like, is it only Maxwell who can be assistant coach? Even when you were coming for a second time.
No, this time around, not as an assistant anyway.
You want to be the
But one day. Not today. I'm not saying it now or one day.
What is your assessment of Otuado, head coach of the Black Stars? Failed to qualify the AFCON. Was it disappointing that he failed to?
Otto has done well. Otto has done well, not because he won these 2 matches. That's not what I'm talking about. You know, for a coach to go through what he went through, he has really done well.
For failing to qualify to the AFCON, he has done well.
No,
Coach Van.
you don't understand. You know, that position is not easy. It's not easy. You know, Black Star is not about your coaching methodologies and all that. No, it's about taking decisions for the country. It's about decision making. I'm telling you, how many days do you even have to train these already fit players who are coming from Europe? It's decision making. At that level, it's about making strong decisions.
Were you disappointed Ghana failed to qualify for the AFCON?
Oh, at least, yes, I'm a Ghanaian. I wasn't happy. But I'm saying Otto has done well because of certain decisions that he had to take, whether it went wrong or he was correct.
Coach is
and he has been able to become a fellow coach. And he has been able to, you know, maintain his decisions and stands by it up till now. Really, he has done well. So the insults, the negativity, you people, you know.
You think he can take us to the World Cup?
Oh, I believe we will qualify for the World Cup. where we have gotten to, we shouldn't look back again. We have to.
If we fail,
or we qualify.
I'm
There
just
is no.
assuming.
Why can look at the teams we are playing? We will qualify.
One of those teams beat you in Cameroon, Comoros.
Oh, this time around, you see, we needed
Niger came here to beat us.
We needed to win one match.
You couldn't win.
And we won that one match, and our momentum is back. So,
okay,
we'll move on.
Hopefully, Otoado will be securing qualification for Ghana to go to the FIFA World Cup in Mexico, Canada, and the USA. As coaches, and I've always said that coaches find themselves in a difficult situation because it is their job. So it's difficult for them to say certain things about their colleagues. But clearly, as a journalist, as a media person, I would say that failure to qualify.
You want me to tell you what he didn't do well?
Oh, so if you fail to qualify to the AFCON, should he have been maintained? 4 matches, Kotoko came and sacked you. He played 6 matches, he didn't win 1.
No, sometimes
the whole country couldn't qualify to the AFCON.
No, I said that Black Stars, you need to take the right decisions at the right time. I think that was what affected the team.
So he didn't take the right decisions?
Yes, at the right time. I think that was the team's problem, decision making. You could take one decision that will affect the entire squad, and you take one decision to everybody will be on board and you get going. Like that is how Black Stars is. It's a lot, captainship, whatever, selection, armband, what, a whole lot.
So why is the armband even an issue? Why?
It's only in Ghana.
In fact, I didn't talk about Kwesi Appiah asking you to not to be his assistant again. Kwesi Appiah 2019. What happened? Why did he take you off as an assistant coach?
Oh, that is normal. You see, you can be working with somebody, and for whatever reason, he may want to, continue with another person. Or that is not.
Did he tell you why?
No. I didn't ask.
He never told you why he was taking you off as his assistant coach?
No, I respected that decision, and I have to just respect that because, like I said, through Nantechi, he brought me. And after working for some time, and he said, no.
Because Nantechi was no longer there, he was like, oh, you are Nantechi boy, so bye-bye.
That's no, I don't, you see,
yeah.
When you give that respect to certain decisions, it helps, it helps a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coach, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm extremely grateful. This is an interview I've chased for so long, and finally I've gotten it. This has been Prime Take with Maxwell Konadu, being my guest. We appreciate your company.